Hey everybody, happy Monday. Back at it after not posting for a couple of days. It would have been real easy to not work out today, but I feel like $1,000,000 because I did. Arm day, so that one's really tough for me to pass up. And all in all, a pretty good Monday. I had a doctor's appointment today, which went really, really well. It was just a follow up to some insurance stuff. I applied for some insurance and they had some questions for my doctor, and he called me in just to do blood pressure and all that sort of stuff. And I sort of had a couple of questions for him on some kind of issues that I've had in the past. I've sort of had a little side stitch, which for me, automatically, I always assume the worst. So, it's like, oh, maybe it's my liver. No, it's just muscular. So, all good. All in all, a very good day, good appointment. And yeah, followed up with a really fantastic golf lesson, which is one of the most frustrating things in the world is that stupid game of golf. So, anyways, I strive to be better. I went 2 weeks ago to my lesson and was ready to quit, I swear. Um, One of those things, and that's when I realized, just like anything, right? Like if I'm already half out the door and if I'm already with that mentality of, oh, I'm going to quit, then why bother? Like, why bother doing any of that? So I kind of recommitted, and because there's so many aspects to the game that I absolutely love. I love being outdoors and going for a beautiful walk and just being out there. I love it. And a nice peaceful golf course, there isn't much that's better than that. Last year for my 40th, with one of my best friends was out at Predator Ridge in Vernon. What was it, 6:30 tee time? Unreal, unbelievable how gorgeous that was. It's such a scenic golf course. It's those days that you know make it all worth it. As frustrating as the game can be, it's my goal not to be an unbelievable golfer. It's my goal just to be able to go out and not lose my mind too much and have a lot of fun doing it. But I'm pretty competitive, so with myself most of the time, which can be frustrating. So, anyways, just yeah. So that's that, and just wanted to, I guess, maybe just real quick. I've been on this whole tidying and negativity sort of clearance, getting toxic people out of your life sort of thing. Kind of struck me this weekend as well. Some of these toxic people, it's amazing how when I start thinking beyond myself for my children, I don't want my girls being around people that are extremely negative and toxic. And there's a few people that are not going to see my kids for a while because until they change their perspective and change their attitudes, because I don't need my kids to see that, be influenced by that, to even have the thought of it's okay to be that negative around. We all have negative moments, and that's cool. But I'm talking people that are doom and gloom, that are extremely, extremely critical, negative, don't have much positive to say. That's not cool. I don't want that for my kids. I want better than that for my children. So I'm choosing to eliminate those people out of their lives until they basically smarten up. And because I just think it's not going to serve them. It's not serving me. By eliminating negative people out of my life, people that are super critical, it's so much. It's just so refreshing. Like people may. It's one thing to joke around with buddies, but it's another thing to have that around you all the time. Even with good friends, there's a line, and there's a line that you just don't cross. And you're not always slamming each other with negative comments and things like that. There's a lot of times you're picking each other up, and those times are more often than not. So I know I've eliminated some negative people out of my life in the last couple of weeks. Um, People that kind of think they're on a pedestal, and that's cool. They can pretend that that's cool and that's what they want to be like. Hey, knock yourself out. I don't really care. I'm gonna choose to not surround myself with people that don't ever go into a deep and meaningful conversation. If you cannot open yourself up to somebody without fear of being judged, how good of friends are they, right? So that's the thing I've been asking myself lately. It's there's a lot of people that we have in our lives that are so judgmental, that are so busy keeping up with the Joneses and wanting to be ahead of the Joneses. And guess what? The Joneses are fucking broke and are miserable, right? It's sort of like, I'm going on a tangent here. It's sort of like people that are in relationships that, I can go two ways with this. I'll go the first way. I remember a couple that was super lovey-dovey, and oh, I love you, I love you, I love all the time. But behind closed doors, and when you get, one-on-one, miserable. Just miserable. Not happy. So for me, it's that whole why? Why be so over the top? Like, why not just be real and just be authentic? I just don't understand why people need to do this big over the top production for everybody instead of just being the genuine person that they are. So, anyways, keeping that in mind, and on the flip side, it's, if people, because you hear a lot of guys, especially, of course, talking about how their sex lives just brutal. Well, here's a thought. Why don't you treat your wife the way that you did when you were courting her, when you wanted to date her, when you were first dating her? If you paid that much attention to her and not bitched at her or whatever, and actually just paid attention and did nice things with no expectant, return or anything, and you just did that for like a week, things are going to change. Like, it's amazing to me how people that complain about that, it's like, man, it's really not a surprise. So anyways, I guess that's my rant. That's my daily rant. We're at 7 minutes, so I'm going to cut this short. Wanted to check in. Monday, got my workout in. I hope you did too. I hope everyone is doing something to just get out there. Decent day here today in Vancouver. So the rest of the week's not supposed to be so good, but hey, that's all right, because I work out in my garage. It turns out it's dry there. So I hope everyone is getting out there, getting active, and eating better. And we will chat with everybody tomorrow.